right, honey, heel. That's a good girl. I love it.
Working on leash healing. She lives in the city, so most of her healing, Josh, will be on leash. They live in the city. So working on healing nicely at the left leg, no refusal to move, and then we're gonna sprinkle in some down reps. Interesting thing, Josh, the owners had tried to teach her down prior to coming here and they were not successful. They could not get her to lay down.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, so
What were they doing?
they actually looked up our videos and tried to do it with the e-collar,
they
and they could not get her to lay down. So I explained to them, not so much lack of knowledge, just lack of wanting to listen or giving up free will and freedom,
her, yeah.
giving up control.
It's not always the case.
Yes. So now we've gotten her to lay down. We're going to be practicing today. We'll show you. Yeah, she's a good girl now. Look at that walk. No,
I think she's ready to go.
flowing, moving easy with you.
To go to the busier parts. Look at this.
Look at that motivation. So you saw the motivation to go back to the house. So before, the motivation was, I don't want to walk at all. I'm going to refuse to move. Now she sees the house and says, I want to go to the house. So now the motivation is to pull ahead. So she gets corrected for that. Recalled back because we want her to prioritize the handler, her owner. We don't want her to prioritize her own desires over what she should be doing, which is listening to her owner, because if she's prioritizing everything else but the owner, that's where they're going to see refusal to move, moving forward on the walk, lunging, refusing to down. Okay, so we let her try that, we provide the feedback, and then we repeat. Okay, and then here we'll try a down rep.
No, stay.
She got corrected there because Josh told her to stay. He walked away. She did not stay. I like what she's doing now. She's laying down as a coping skill. So now she's offering it as like, here, I'm sorry I made the mistake. I'll lay down because I know they like that. That's a big change.
I'm purposely turning my body away from her.
Making it difficult.
Doing stuff because the truth is
Very
we do
hard for her
human
to
stuff
stay.
all the time. They don't necessarily know what we're doing.
We're just checking stuff out.
I could be checking the mail.
This is hard for her.
This is hard for a lot of dogs. So it's listening, but it's being passive. So it's like having a kid in class and you're saying, sit at the desk and pay attention to what I'm telling you. That's the part the kid's struggling with, not so much that they can't understand what you're saying. They don't want to sit and do the process of listening. Same thing. AKA the kid's being a brat, the dog's being a brat, right? But if that goes into adulthood, then it's not, then what is it? Is it still being bratty? It becomes a little bit more, the consequences, the dog will fight a little bit more realistically. A puppy will throw a tantrum. An adult dog throwing a tantrum is more dangerous for everybody because they're still going to go for those bites, but they're going to be much bigger bites, much stronger movements, and much more confidence behind everything, you know? So ideally, this type of domestication process happens younger than 3. I mean, obviously. When you do it at 3, you get a lot more resistance. A lot more resistance. They're already patterned to an old way.
Yes.
So
I've lived my whole life doing what I want.
And so it's more of like, why should I listen to you? And then you say, let me show you why.
Yes.
And then they say, oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So it's humble. They have to humble themselves and be respectful.
This is good.
No, stay.
It's so hard for her to stay.
So even though she's smart, like she's a smart breed.
Yeah.
The breeds are inherently pretty smart.
Yeah.
She's so anxious when she got here. She was even more so anxious. The anxiety kind of overrides the intelligence, and you see her making questionable, even like what you would say, well, that was a silly or dumb decision, right? Because when that panic comes into the brain, the dogs lose their intelligence, it feels. They start making almost silly mistakes. Like you can see a dog make some dangerous mistakes, running through the road and stuff because they're panicking. So I see her, she's an anxious dog. So she needs more than, even more so than a dog who's not so anxious, that leader who's going to tell her yes and no. This is what we do throughout the day, AKA structure. Here's what we're doing. We're going to do this walk, and then we're going to come in and you're going to do this, and after that you're going to do this, right? And and more importantly, and how you maintain that, is when the dog tries to override you and say, we're going to do things this way, you correct and put them back in their place on the hierarchy. So if I'm on a walk and I say I want to go this way and she says she wants to go that way, that right there is a conversation starter. Yep. So now if I turn around and start going in her direction,
she wins.
Right. Yeah. In her mind, she's tallying up.
She's telling you what to do.
So she says, if that happens for a little while, then when you try to finally stand up and say no more, she's going to say, or what? And if you don't have an or what, you're done. You're toast. Now we have an or what. We can correct and direct. So she can make her own decisions just like before, but now there's actual consequences that she cares about. So she's being compliant. She's doing it reluctantly. What would she rather be doing? Sitting and doing nothing.
Laying on the couch.
That's it, laying on the couch. Even at home before training, a loving family, a caring family, still didn't want to do anything. So the lack of motivation, who knows where it comes from? I don't know. I don't know. A lot of dogs love going for a walk.
I know.
Love going for a walk. They'll pull you around, but they love it. But there are dogs that don't want to do much. And
They're like, I like the couch life.
I'd rather do nothing, and when you want to do anything at all, and actually I can be like that from time to time.
I know. Yeah.
Where it's like, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
But I still do. Good. All right, so this is good for her. We're talking, she's doing good. I think, and I'm heavy on affections too. Maybe you don't always see it in the video, but there's a lot of showing her and all the other dogs the appreciation when they switch and they do a much better behavior. That's when you give the affection, you let them know you're proud of them and that they're on the right track. She feels nice and relaxed. She's not tense. So that's good. Now I'm going to say her name. I hope she nope. Correction there. See how quick that is?
Getting the wiggles out.
I'm going to get a little
So just to stress, the only way out of a stay command is either another command, so a recall
Remi.
or a heel, or a release.
Break.
Good girl.
Break. Yes, you got it. There you go. So look at this though. This is interesting. I didn't know if you could end the video if you wanted to. But what's interesting is when she started to come to me, she did choose to come to me. But there was a slight moment, and she's even oriented towards me. This is big. This is good girl stuff. And you pet this, and you let her know she's amazing. Good job. Good. But what she did there was a slight moment. She looked at the house because that was her motivation.
Yep.
And in the past,
Gone. Yeah.
Right? But even now, if she did that and she said bye, you can see my body language isn't so worried about it because what I'm going to do is I'm going to recall her. I'm going to correct her and recall her on here. So I don't have to get all and I have a long line on her right now for when she's still learning. So I just go over to the long line, I go,
Yeah.
and she stops, correct her, recall her. I'm not stressed. Why I'm saying that is if I'm like this, because she could run away at any moment, that's the energy she's going to take that, and she's already anxious. She needs somebody who's not anxious. I know it's hard to not be anxious, but ideally we're just not doing any of that. I'm not sitting here worried about my next decision. I'm just in the moment and I'm confident about what I'm doing next. And so after she gets corrected, she looks up and sees that. Somebody who's just chill, not frustrated, not up here with anxiety, not flustered, just look at her right in the eyes, chill. She's receiving that. Post correction, she sees somebody just as kind of like, I don't really know what to do, then she's gonna stay there, all right? So that's why we follow through with that. If you watch The Dog Whisperer, which I was a big fan of back in the day, he always called it follow through after a correction. Post correction, there's this moment where you kind of give that calm but confident leader type energy to them. That's where you're existing. You're not flustered. You try not to be. That's what you work on, right? Good. She needs that. If we're flustered, there ain't no way we're getting her to listen, okay? Because she's already so flustered. She needs that nice stable energy. And when she gets it, she relaxes. All right, there she goes. How's she in the city around cars and stuff?
She doesn't want to move on the walk, so they don't take very many walks.
I understand.
Yeah.
Well, that would be nice for her.
Yeah.
Maybe, and I'm hoping, I don't have enough time with her, right? I don't live with her
3 weeks,
forever.
yeah.
I get 3 weeks, I get 4 weeks sometimes. But even in that time, if I see a dog again and again, they come back for boarding, they come back for daycare, I can see that slowly the development continues.
Yes.
It's not like they can keep getting better slowly, especially a dog like this where it's anxiety. You can see the anxiety go away as time goes on. Good girl. But and I don't mind if a dog is anxious in a situation. I'm not looking at a dog and saying,
Don't be
you're
anxious.
anxious, so now you're in trouble.
Yeah.
No,
Be
of course
anxious,
not, right? 'Cause
but
that's going to
be
cause
stable.
I'm saying feel the emotion, but don't do the behaviors attached to those
Yes.
ideas. Don't run away. Don't try to attack me, right? Like, don't put up a stink. Feel that way, but listen to me.
Yep.
I'm not telling you not to feel that way, all right? And what ends up happening is actually they stop feeling that way. They actually start feeling stable. She's starting to stabilize, like, big time. I just wanted to mention that she's an anxious dog inherently. When she came to me, she feels like, to me, a dog who is kind of always going to be a little anxious. She'll be better and might even not feel anxious at all, but that's if she's with somebody who is taking the lead. If
Yeah.
she's taking the lead, I think we're going to see this.
Well, they thought she had a screw loose.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can see that.
Yeah.
These people
I'm
seem
like, no,
very
actually,
logical.
she's really smart.
She's very smart, but yeah, I would say the screw loose that you're feeling, it's going to be she doesn't want to listen.
Yes.
That's going to be the big one, but also it is going to also be that she has some anxiety to her character, that so that mixed with a dog who doesn't want to listen is going to.
Yeah, it feels off.
That anxiety makes it feel real off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if she was an anxious dog, same anxious dog, but listened.
Yeah.
Sure, she'd be anxious, but that her listening to a good, stable human who knows what they're doing will actually rehab her.
Yeah.
It will. But you can't put up with the and she's got a lot of that she tries to pull like every other dog. But there is anxiety in there too. And so that's why you see it. That's why you can see that panic in her. Good. But look, she's look.
The eyes.
Good girl. The eye. I was just exactly what I
And the
was going to
fact
say.
that they're blue makes it look even like wild.
Do you want to say it? You're just like,
Good
those are
girl.
crazy eyes. That's
Yeah.
a good response. She's using the coping skill. There's no correction.
She had an
there.
urge. She thought against it. She put her head down.
If I corrected her and she did that, that's the right thing. So let's say I corrected that thing. Because I could if I felt like she's going to go and I needed to keep her safety and there was something in the environment. That was a thought of leaving the state command. Crazy eyes, like no tomorrow. She put herself into the calm state. That's why you see the dogs do this on the videos a lot. They realize that that's them surrendering to your leadership and they're just going into passive state. They're just like, I'll just wait. That's always the end. Whenever they do that, we always say, that's amazing. That's the thing. We're teaching them that calm, submissive. That's the old language that was used, that was taught to me. Calm and compliant. It's the same type of state that we will go into when we're around an authority figure that we choose to take their direction. A cop, a teacher, a doctor. I will be respectful and I will do what they tell me to do. And that's a state that I go in, And I said the example of being on a plane. I have to go in that state. She's going in that state. It's a survival thing. I reward that and say, yeah, that's the answer to everything. Every time you're questioning whether I'm doing right or wrong, if you do that, it's probably right. Unless I'm recalling you. Then you got to come to me. Right? But that state of mind, it's not so much the down. She can be in that state of mind in a sit, too, and standing there. It's not panic. She turned it off on her own. That she got here. She learned to use that here. Before, panic, fight or flight. Freeze is part of fight or flight. There's fight, flight, and freeze. Those are the responses to something stressful, traumatic, whatever it may be, or just tantrums. She probably had a little bit of fight or flight going on here and there in her brain. She's very close to being able to go there. Say her name, and then converse with her. Remi, it's a good girl. Break.
Good girl.
Break. She started to like that down. You see
I know.
That? She said, this isn't so bad, this relaxing.
She's like, I'm going to be stubborn even on break.
Good girl. It's okay. No, I don't think so. She's doing, look at her.
She is pretty.
She's a very good girl. She's very pretty.
Nice work.
Yes.